let's make a petition that we should cancel our afternoon classes.
Hey,
So that we can elongate your years of study to like 8 or 7 years.
Exactly.
If you study Babalawo quite well, you're gonna make money. Shedrack is there. Okay, Tammy that you mentioned. Juwon, Chisom,
Niger.
It's peculiar.
Derek, who was like the godfather of
Yes. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of TV Farm. I'm your host Damola.
And I'm Daniel.
Today's episode, we have a very special guest with us.
Hi guys, my name is Dr. Oluwalebidemi Akawa. I'm the acting head of Department for Pharmaceutical Medicinal Chemistry.
So today we'll be having a very nice conversation with Dr. Akawa. We're getting to know him in and out. The goal of this episode will be to connect you with Dr. Akawa.
Pharmacy students could describe you in 3 words. What do you think they would say, and what would you like them to say?
I feel like maybe the first thing that will come to mind would be that I am funky. And then I guess some people will say I'm demanding. Some might say I'm unpredictable. What I would like them to say actually, I probably want them to see me as someone that is transformational. Inspiring, yeah, something like that. And fair, actually. I'd like to define them to describe me as someone that is very fair. Fair in that you're not partial, you're not.
Okay.
Is he partial?
Okay, full stop. It's not okay, it's okay, full stop.
All right.
What is the funniest or most memorable memory you've had with a student?
I've had many memorable moments with my students. I practically connect with a lot of the students on a very personal level. And I mean, like, I count students over the years because I've taught, this should be like my 13th or 14th year of teaching. I've had a lot of students, and I mean, obviously, maybe after now, this might be one of the most memorable times I've been having with students because this is kind of different. I've not done this before, and it sounds nice, it feels nice. Even inside the classroom, I feel when you get to have engaging students, you have people that are just inquisitive and asking questions and listening, it's actually quite memorable. And when you teach students, you can see them move from, not knowing or not understanding to then, saying it and making it, then it's memorable. So on that ground, I have so many memorable times with my students.
It's my call. That's me. I am now.
Yes, you know you're autistic. I know that over the years, there have been a lot of pharmacy misconceptions.
Okay.
Pharmacy students misconceptions, let's put it like that.
Okay.
Right. And a lot of people still believe those misconceptions, right? What do you think would be one pharmacy myth you would love to cancel out or just explain to the public that it's not like this, but it's like the other way around?
I think one thing that comes to mind is not even about pharmacy students, it's about pharmacy professionals as a whole. I think there's this myth or misconception that surrounds the fact that people believe pharmacists they exist, just count piglets. Honestly, people just say, I mean, why are you even studying so hard? And what you're doing is for you to be in the hospital and you're responding to what the doctor is doing.
That's
right.
So I think it's a very big myth and a misconception because I feel like if that's your belief right now, you're like 30 years behind. Right? Because right now, pharmacy, the practice, the people, it has largely transformed. Now we're talking about pharmacogenomics, we're talking about AI in healthcare. We are essentially rewriting drug medicine landscape. And without pharmacists, every other healthcare professional they are just ineffective.
I really relate to that because I cannot count how many of my friends have told me that because you're studying pharmacy, you're just like an illegal drug dealer.
Exactly.
Sorry, illegal drug dealer.
Exactly.
Because
you can make
yes,
make the most money.
and they don't really understand that pharmacy has really transformed this industrial pharmacy. There's still obviously the community pharmacy. There's hospital pharmacy. I recently learned that doctors can't do ward rounds without clinical pharmacists.
It shouldn't, but they do.
But they do it. But like that should be the standard, and that just shows how important pharmacists are in today's generation. But one thing that is always on the downside is the pay. That's just the very sad part. But it is well. Oh, we'll move on with life after.
I think if you are going to look at the pay part, it's and I keep telling every professional, I think it has to do with you. All right. So personally, I've gone for interviews in the past that I'm being asked, what do I think is a fair pay? And just trust me, I go very high. And why I go very high is because, I know that I went to this school myself. I studied, I know. So if you want to get the benefit, of course, you have to be willing to pay for it. All right. So I think now what might happen in the nearest future is that you probably hardly find many pharmacists in the traditional pharmacy role. Like I was trying to say, you're probably going to find pharmacists in different other hybrid roles. For example, I currently have a guy who is a pharmacist. He's like a nomadic pharmacist. He's into tech. If today is in Dubai, tomorrow is in Greece, he's going everywhere that he has actually ever dreamed of. Oh. And he's making crazy money. In fact, he has an AI this thing.
That's my inspiration.
Yeah. No. So exactly. So if you try to look at pharmacy from that traditional perspective, you imagine what a doctor is making as a medical doctor.
Yes.
So,
oh my God.
Exactly. So if you look at pharmacy from that traditional perspective, I feel like you may never really, clock it like you may. But if you decide to say, okay, I'm going different way, you would see that it's good.
Okay. Life lesson. If they ask you, what do you want to get paid?
Just go very high.
Exactly.
Very, very
okay.
Yeah, you should reach the ceiling.
If you had to describe pharmacy students using a meme or a trending phrase, what would it be?
I don't think I know. I don't think I can describe them. But I feel like it depends on where you're meeting pharmacy students. The pharmacy students I know, they are fashion designers, like the best dressed set of students in Abua. Perhaps if you meet them in the morning, you're most likely going to be referring to some swagalicious, confident kind of person. So a meme. All right. So for that, I might actually give you a meme of Afebarola himself. Prior to exam, after PCT practical, Jesus. The meme isn't describable. So you're probably going to get a pharmacy looking downcast and looking so sad.
One of the things we want to introduce from the editorial committee is a Pharma Chronicles. Essentially, is a story about different pharmacy students just going through life in pharmacy school, basically, right? We'll get to say that soon enough. But if it wasn't a book and it was a movie, what do you think the title should be? For that, I can give you my own.
Let me hear your own.
The struggles of a pharmacy student.
I think there are so many things you can use. Maybe we could start with Once Upon a Time. Alright, so I said Once Upon a Time because I feel that when I remember Once Upon a Time, most times when you leave pharmacy school, you find out that you are completely changed. And there are things that you might be used to, like perhaps you're like the outdoorsy type, you are the one that parties, and you're the very most likely pharmacy takes that out of you. So it could then be like, it could be like Once Upon a Time. It used to be that kind of thing, or before and after, that before and after thing. So it could be like before and after because there's a big transformation when you pass through pharmacy school.
What inspired you to pursue pharmacy in the first place?
All right, so on that level, I did not know that even anything like pharmacy exists when I was in another level, before I even got admission. So I think at first, after I wrote JAM, I got admission to study botany in University of Lagos. And
that's like plants?
Yeah, study of plants, yeah. So I got admission to study botany. In my second semester, that same JAM, because I applied to University of Lagos and University of Jos. So that same JAM, I got admission with the JAM to study pharmacy in the University of Jos. So, but I was already in my second year because Jos was a bit distant. I loved University of Lagos, the environment, the people. I didn't want to leave because I felt like I'm doing well. I'm the kind of person that believes whatever it is you do or your hands finds, just do it well. I feel like either way you're going to excel. If you study Babalawo quite well, you're going to make money. Because time pass. It's either you're studying medicine or you're studying law and things like that. But I didn't really care for that. But I had an uncle that was like, you're studying Babalawo, no, you're going to leave that course and study pharmacy. So I had to ask questions about what pharmacy is like and what it's about and things like that. I didn't even fall in love with pharmacy until my 400 level when I went for Cyrus. So it was when I went for SciWest and I was taken to Faith and Life Foundation. It's like a hospital where they attend to people with HIV and tuberculosis. And then I mean, it was really nice attending to people. I mean, just changing, people's lives, because you get to learn about HIV, and you get to learn about the first line drugs, second line drugs, and then if you fail the first line drugs, you get second line. If you fail, you probably will not have nothing else to take because I'm most likely moving to AIDS and stuff. So I realized that the knowledge, and I realized, we are actually really essential in this grand scheme of things, that kind of thing. So that was when I fell really in love with pharmacy. And then talk about inspiration to pursue pharmacy. It wasn't something that came like that, but I know that my father was in favor of healthcare stuff. Personally, I really wasn't in favor of healthcare. So one of the things why I took that course very seriously again is the fact that my dad is diabetic, and or he was, because he's dead. And then there's always in my house a situation where, how do we deal with this particular disease? What can we do to ensure that we reduce this problem, or we ensure that diabetes is taken out of the world? And that's why most times, if you look at IFA diabetes research now, my younger brother, who happens to be a lecturer too, is actually essentially doing diabetes research, more or less, even though he's not a pharmacist, right? So yeah, those are like the the two inspirations. My uncle ensuring that I study pharmacy because he thinks pharmacy is better than botany, and my family healthcare this thing.
I don't think I found my passion yet for pharmacy. I'm just trying to survive. I feel like after my IT, I probably have like a different perspective.
I feel like in pharmacy school, most students tend to look up to people for inspiration. When I was in school, I had people that I'm like, okay, if this is pharmacy, I'm never going to be this. And then there's some people that you see like, okay. So I feel like if you could look inward and look at people that might have taught you or that will teach you, you might get some answers.
That inspires me now is probably the president. When I was 20 level, she was the PRO. And so I had like direct
relationship
because she was sending out information and everything. And I just basically I was looking at her, I was like, wow, she was doing so many things. And I began to ask questions. Okay, how are you doing this? How are you doing that?
That solves it.
That's my goal for now.
Daniel doesn't look like he was inspired by anyone.
No, sir. No, I had recent inspiration.
Recent. Okay.
Just very recent. Very.
Okay.
Give up of Nigert. Yes, I was just talking to her.
Najat, bro.
Yes, Najat.
Yeah, she's just a very cool girl.
And she made me feel like I was not working enough.
And then somebody else too is Peculiar, my mentor.
Yo, Peculiar.
Her work rate is insane, bro. Jesus.
But now it just make you feel like pharmacy is more than just drugs and everything.
Yeah.
And I know after this, I was thinking like I should start listening to pharmacy podcasts. It's like, because you're talking about one birth drug like that. What was it? Ozempic, I think.
Yeah.
Ozempic.
Yeah.
They use for weight loss.
Yeah, talking about Ozempic and research and.
Okay.
So
you got inspired.
Research inspiration.
Okay, that's nice.
Surviving.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yes.
Kudos to the seniors that are giving their juniors inspiration. We clap for you guys. We've come to a fun segment of our video. In which I think that Akawa is not going to pass, but we'll see. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
That's from a song.
Yes.
I don't know. Who sang the song?
It's called Yahoozy, I think.
Monday, Tuesday. Of course, I know that.
What I actually know it.
You should sing it.
Why would I sing it?
I said Monday, Tuesday. I'm not supposed to. If you sang Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I know that one. Like the bubble, something like that. I know the song. It was like a song of my days.
It's a game, but don't worry, it's not hard. You get it. It's basically this or that.
Oh, okay.
You can give us a small reason why you're picking the latter. Hospital pharmacy or community pharmacy?
Hospital pharmacy. I prefer the idea of hospital pharmacy because of the clinical depth, because you get to work with many other healthcare professionals very closely to ensure maximum outcome. But community is usually more rewarding for me. Maybe that's the way I see it. More rewarding when it is owned by you, or I mean, you just work for who? For somebody else who is shopping live at home. Exactly.
Sure.
Morning lectures or afternoon lectures?
Definitely morning lectures. I teach supposedly hard courses. So you teach farm chem in the afternoon. You're probably going to teach that course again.
Let's make a petition that we should cancel our afternoon classes.
Yeah, I think we should try.
Hey!
So that we can elongate years of study. 8 or 7 years. I'm with you.
Why is serious? Me, I'm funny.
Oh, is that a question?
Yes, another question. Serious student, funny student. Funny student.
Okay, so I would go with serious student.
Ah.
For one reason. Because I don't think there are too many funny students that will make the grade. Personality wise, I tilt more towards the funny. Honestly, if you are too funny about pharmacy, you are just going to funny your way to the other person. You need to find a balance. Alright, I preach balance. Pharmacy does not actually emphasize balance. Pharmacy, yes, we'll come and tell you should be balanced. The curriculum doesn't smile. Right? The curriculum is tilting you towards serious. So that's the only reason why I'm picking, because I want you to graduate on time.
You've had a very rewarding career.
Yeah, I think. It's actually quite rewarding for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to believe that a lot of them actually look up to you and the other lecturers as like,
I hope so.
eventually, in a few years time when you retire and you're enjoying your retirement money, what legacy would you like to leave behind for the pharmacy students and the pharmacy profession as a whole?
It's very rewarding because I remember when I first started, each time I go to class and I talk to students and I see how happy they are. Because when you teach and your teaching is not just about the technical part, you have an opportunity, a very unique opportunity to actually motivate, to steer people in a different direction.
Yeah.
And people get to look at you like, oh, okay, so a pharmacist can be this, and you tend to, go deeper than just the academics. All right, so I feel like I've seen people come and be like, oh, thank you so much, they're so inspired. I mean, it's not even only pharmacy student, nursing student, because I started with nursing student, medical student, and all of that. And it was always nice. And I've seen people graduate and they still, in fact, there are many people that have graduated that are still in touch with me. I have people even in the UK, even as short as my career as pharmacist or lecturer has been. I've seen people I've seen students tell me that, don't worry, when I start working, I'm going to be paying you 1% of my salary. I'm like, oh, really?
Sure.
All right, so, not that you want them to do that, but it's just the thought process that would have come into you even eventually saying that, all right? So it's rewarding. And now I have students all over. I can imagine people that have taught for 40 years, what they will say. And then sometimes, there are days that I've walked to hospitals or walked to community outlets. And the last time I was in Abuja, all right, I just went to some place and I saw people that I taught. And there was time I was walking in the hospital, just walking around, and I saw a boy like, hello, sir. I was like, oh, do I know you? He's like, oh, yes, I taught him in medicine. I said, oh, really? So it's kind of rewarding if you look at it from that way. When I look at the legacy I would like to leave, I hope that at the end, when I'm retired, people can just look back and say, oh, I am who I am today because of your teachings, because of my friendship, or because of my interaction with you. And that will give me extreme joy.
Most people believe that pharmacy students don't know how to do a study. They were praying for me in my hostel that all I'm doing is studying. But I don't believe that.
Okay.
So if you could give an advice to pharmacy students beyond academics, what would you like to say to them?
Life is more than just academics. And if you are going to be an exceptional pharmacist, it has to go beyond just studying. And I feel like the new generation people are, they are doing their things. All right. So we have people who are now entrepreneurs. We have content creators like who, Chisom, and your student mentor. Right. So we have people doing so many things. People play sports, and personally as a lecturer, I try to encourage it and try to ensure that they don't just lose touch of those things. So in the light of the question you're asking, I would encourage people to get into politics, last year we had Derek, who was like the godfather of
Yes.
and
It was so crazy.
honestly, I like him for that. In fact, sometimes I'm willing to excuse whatever other thing happens simply because I see that he's really interested in such things. And for such people, you eventually find out that they are the ones at the end of affairs in this country, in the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only time I might discourage is if you are not actually doing well. If you are doing above average, I think you should go for it. Do many other things. You are going to get a reward.
I really do believe that these new age students have so much other than young people studying for them.
They have a lot of
And
people.
it's nothing short of amazing. So
Just really inspiring.
Yeah.
Yes.
Funny enough, there are so many even distinction students currently that are doing so many things. I could name many of them that you guys already know. If you go to that, your new, this thing that you want to do about entrepreneurs, you find out that many of them that are from pharmacy, I mean, Shadrach is there. Shadrach is a distinction student currently. And he's into Ultraman Justice, clipped by, which, and they would say he's a brand. And so many of them have, who has, and she's into SRC, she's into this. There is Tammy that you mentioned, and you
That has two whole businesses.
Alright, so there is Juwon, a lot of the students.
Dr. Kawa, these have been very lovely, these have been nice. What do you have to say to the viewers to round up the...
My first speech, not speech per se, to the viewers, most likely primarily pharmacy students, is that if you take pharmacy seriously, it can take you anywhere. Alright, so you can become whatever you want to become just by going through pharmacy school. And like I've always said in class, when you graduate, you don't only graduate with the certificates. You graduate with all the transformations, all the newer habits that you get from pharmacy school. Because we are making your life a bit of a hell right now. But when you finish, you're like, oh, thank God, there's someone to guide me properly. And for every other person who is ill-advised and who does not know much about pharmacy, I mean, you can see me, I'm a pharmacist, and that's what pharmacy is about. It's not just about studying, it's about, transforming lives. It's about doing it in a very slick way. Yeah. So to our parents, to our management and so on, thank you for all you do for pan sites. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for sending them to a place like Akawa University where lives are molded in a very beautiful, wonderful way. And you can see what they are doing, all smiling and happy. Thank you very much. I'll see you again.
So guys, we have come to the end of this particular segment. I think that we can all agree that my perspective and your perspective on pharmacy has definitely changed after this conversation with Dr. Akawa. And we want to thank him for making our time to be able to do such an interesting conversation with us. But so, we have another lecturer on this segment soon. Can you guess who the lecturer will be? Put your answers in the comment section.
Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when we upload a new video. See you guys in our next video.
Bye.
Bye.